So as you can see, we will do some spot images right now, and what you can also see, we will do only upper body images, okay? So it's only you see what you get, etc. Since this will be a kind of boxing image, we want to have some moody light, a little bit more aggressive light, and that's why we are going to do a clamshell lighting with a hard edge light in front of a dark background. So the specialty about this lighting is that I'm going to eyeball everything. Why? Because the key lights are basically my lights I'm using as edge lights. Because these are the lights I will kind of configure first, and then the light from the front I will eyeball it so that I can have a contrast which I like. So we will start eyeballing, please, the edge lights. I've got 3 groups again. The B group are the rim lights, so the 2 strip boxes behind, and then we've got group A and C. So let's start with the edge lights only. So I switched off everything else. I'm just using the configuration I've got from before. I'm just going to switch off black and white again. In general, what I like to do when I'm working with contrast is a lot is to use black and white to configure the contrast. But for ease of use, or for explanation, I'm going to use color in this case. So I'm trying to get the edge lights a little bit more edgy, a little bit brighter. And what I don't want is that they are completely overexposed. So at the moment the white one is the illumination value. They are at 160. And in general, a good value for Caucasian skin is like 75% of the maximum output, which is 170, which means for me, I can increase the edge lights quite a lot. So I'm going 2/3 of a stop higher. Okay, so now they are at around 200. So I'm just checking one of the black and white presets. Since in black and white you're working with contrast a lot. If they are going too bright then, so I will keep it as is for now. So what you can see right now is that she's already pretty bright from the front, right? That's happening because the edge lights are being reflected by the diffusion material of the front modifiers already. So I don't want too much light from the front. So I'm now going to set the upper light, but I will reduce it quite a lot. So I'm starting at 1/64 of power, which is very low. And that's too bright already, so I'm going all the way down to 1/256 of power. So just a little bit more, so I'm going to 1/128. That's looking pretty nice already, so I'm just going to increase the contrast a bit. And also the clarity to check if that's where I'm going to head for. I'm also checking the eyes if they are fine. Yeah, so they are bright enough. So I will reduce the front light a bit again. So that's something I like already. What you can see, we've got one highlight on the nose and no highlight on the other side. So I'm just going to check if it's the light or if it's the fist casting a shadow. So one image without a fist, please. Okay, so it's the modifier. So I need to move this one a little bit further to the front. So for this kind of image, I want to have a symmetry. Yeah, it's a little bit. Okay, so as you can see, we've got now edge lights plus the edge lights on the nose. Concerning the edge lights on the nose, that's something that's done very, very frequently with these kind of sportive images. So it depends on you if you want to have it or not. So can I have one aggressive pose, please? Yeah, that's pretty nice. So at the moment, the interesting thing is, since the modifier on the base we've got is so huge and so large, the reflective surface is so large, we don't need actually an active light from below. So this one is switched off at the moment. And I'm just making sure that not by okay, it's not firing. So sometimes it's firing even if it's switched off. So I will remove it right now just to check the difference. So same pose again, please. It got a little bit darker, but not too much. And the eyes are still fine. So it's very important, when the eyes are getting too dark, it's very hard to work them out afterwards, because it looks pretty unnatural. When you underexpose single items, the structure is getting lost. So when you increase brightness afterwards, they are not very detailed, and that's why they're looking a little bit alien. But this image, how it's right now, is actually pretty nice. So I would already work with it like this. What we could do now, since we've got also lighting from the backside, we could also introduce some fog and some with a small fogger, just to increase the dramaticality of the image. So when you're using fog, it's very important that you illuminate the fog from the backside, and that's very ideal in this scenario because we've got the rim lights from behind. So I also will spray the fog from behind, and it's important that you're not using too much, otherwise it's not looking that good. I'm using a remote control this time for the camera, so that way I can control the fog and the camera at the same time. Just make sure that I'm out of frame. Okay, so I have to fog from a little bit lower. Yeah. Okay, having fun. Okay. Once again. So as you can see, it's working pretty well in this scenario, and it's also important to keep the fog behind the model and not in front, always depending on what you're intending to go for, but it's an ideal scenario to work with fog. Okay, hope you had some fun with us using fog, so see you in the next lesson. Thank you for watching this chapter. Please like and subscribe. If you got any questions, just shoot me a comment under the video and check out the description for further information. And now I'm happy to see you in the next video.